Your fearless leaders here on Awaken Your Intuition. And we're going to talk about sage a little bit. It's funny. It's kind of like a hot button for a lot of people. I'm getting on my phone because last time I couldn't see the comments. So I'm going to pull that up so that I can interact with you guys a little bit more. Would love to hear your thoughts about sage, any questions that you have as well. Um, okay, so I am watching it on my phone too. So tell me, guys, if some of you have used sage, what your experience has been. But now I'm all crooked and I hate being crooked when I'm doing these things. Drives me nuts. Can you tell? Uh, anyway, let's just get to it. With with sage, what Dana and I have found over the years through experience, School of Hard Knocks, is sage is not sufficient to chase out a negative spirit. Now, it's not just a negative spirit that it is not good for, it's for entities as well. Now, we are not talking about using it to clear your own personal energy. And a lot of people do that. And I used to do that a lot uh, because I personally love the smell of sage. Now I don't like it quite as well, but I still use it for certain purposes. Now, I need to put this caveat here. If you are Native American and following the Native American path, you can disregard a lot of what we're saying, okay? Because this is not against Native Americans. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. However, there are certain precautions and certain things that even on that path that you need to do a little differently than the older ways. And again, I know this by experience. For those of you that don't know me very well, I am a sacred pipe carrier. For a half minute, I thought about bringing my pipe out to show on this video, but it didn't want to come out. And the reason is it is a sacred item. It is not a show and tell item. The sacred pipe is wrapped in red felt with some pieces of sage in it to keep it clear, and I have it tucked away in a very safe place. I bring it out when I use it, and I only use it for very powerful sacred prayers. So, using the sage is, I'm going to write something down so I don't forget. Um, Using the sage in that way is totally different because when I fill the pipe with the prayer, the tobacco prayers, I take the sage, use the smudge, that's what it's called when you burn the sage, you're smudging with it, and take it over to purify the prayers, and then put the prayer in the pipe. And then I will smoke the pipe, not inhaling because you don't inhale in sacred ceremonies. You exhale the smoke out, just get the smoke going so the smoke takes the prayers up to Creator. I followed the Red Road, what they call it, for many years and was so blessed by an amazing medicine man that was raised in Pine Ridge Res and actually was part of AIM, American Indian Movement, and then started doing a lot to help protect against the grave desecrations and even spoke in DC against that. So he's amazing and magical. I don't think he'd want to be called magical, but he is. He's the real deal. Um, so all that being said is I honor the native path, and all paths are different. They work differently for different people depending on what they need to accomplish and where they are in their lives. And I'm extremely grateful for the time that I've had as working with other Native Americans or other white people that were following that path. I was actually married to a Sundancer for a long time, and he was a wonderful man, full blood Lithuanian and full spirit Lakota Sioux. So it is about the spirit. And when he would use sage for items, and I was too when I was in that path, it's a little differently. But I still could not clear entities with sage. And I really have never heard any stories that worked really well, and I would love to hear them if it's true, um, of people that have had that situation. I'm turning mine down because I just saw there was a comment there. Sabrina's on. Hi, Sabrina. And so pop on, say something if you have something to add to the conversation or you have a question. So with the sage, it's like blowing smoke in someone's face. And I don't know about you, but if someone's going to blow smoke in my face, I'm going, that was rude. And I may walk away for a little while. But if that was my space, my home, and someone comes in, hey, Heather, someone comes into my home and disrespects me, I may leave for a minute and I'm going to come back and say, excuse me, this is my home, get out. So you got to realize, hi, Chandali, there's a lot of people, and I'm talking people, not just spirits. Spirits are people, okay? They just don't have the physical body. And so when you go in and you have this attitude, I'm just chasing them all out, for one thing, your attitude's all wacko. Um, you're not coming across respectful to them. And then they're not going to listen. And they're not going to work with you. So it's a whole disrespect, actually. And that's true not just with sage, but Palo Santo, frankincense, anything that you're holy water. Oh my gosh, you can really stir up the spirits with holy water. Because we have done, Nate and I have done so many clearings virtually, via Zoom, other ways, and some of them, they just hate religion. And they come across, I remember one time they were like, oh, I just hate God. We didn't really hate God, but his perception of God and what he had been raised with. So you can't go, you got to speak their language, guys. That's the thing. Blowing sage in their face is not speaking their language. It's saying, get out. I don't care who you are. I don't want to listen to you. I have nothing to do with you. I'm just all about me, and get out. That's not the way to get someone to peacefully leave. When I was doing that kind of work, and I did for a while, you know why? I was working with Archangel Michael, and he's like, flaming sword, go in there, battle, battle, battle. I literally had somebody fall on the ground when I was trying to clear her energy using the energy of Michael. It just was not a good fit, doing that really deep, heavy duty work. And that's why even he himself stepped back and said, I'm not doing this. You have to work with a now. Because he knew that I needed that power angel. And Anel comes in full of power and also full of compassion. we have this video Dana and I did, and one of these days we're going to release it to the public. And what happened in that was the spirit, this was an entity, this had never been human, because this is what a lot of people do. They try to send all the entities, all the spirits, to the light. If they are not from the light, you cannot send them to the light. You need to talk to them, get them to go to a different place so they start evolving. And they can grow and expand just like you can. So this particular entity, it was it was non-human. It had been there. It was feeding off of the light of one of the girls in the house, and it was just all just, um, and I was channeling it, and which means I was given it its voice. So I basically brought the energy of the spirit inside of me, and I can only do that because of Archangel Anel. If she did not shield me on the inside out, I couldn't do it safely. So Dana's counseling the spirit, trying to get it to understand what's going on. And it's like, I just want to eat everybody. I'm doing all this stuff. And then finally, the light was intensified around the girl because Anel came in and said, you want to see light? Because it was feeding off of her light. I'll show you light. And she threw her symbol right on that girl. And all of a sudden, that entity freaked out. And the reason I know this is because I went back and watched the video because I wasn't present. Morgana had left the building and Anel was protecting me and the spirit was speaking through me. I almost literally crawled on Dana's lap at that time. That spirit was so terrified. It's like, hide me, take me away. I made her mad. He realized he knew who Anel was. And he goes, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Sabrina, you want to eat everybody. I'm going to read this. So anyway, the whole thing with this was we went in with respect to help him. And Dana was very kind. He said, come on, I'm going to take you someplace. Azrael, she was bringing Azrael in to help. We'll take you to a place where you can rest. You can find what you need, and you're not going to have to feed on the scraps in this area. So it's really very fascinating how that works. Sabrina, if you were cleansing your house of negative emotions and there happens to be entities around, do they understand that they're not getting their blown in their face? That is such a good thing. I mean, question. More than likely, if you have negative entities in the house, you're going to know it. You've had poltergeist activity, you've seen shadows, you've had disturbances, you can't sleep, you're having weird emotions and feelings that aren't yours. So more than likely you're going to know. And if that's the case, you need to get a clearing. And Dana and I do those a lot. If you're going to clear your energy and you're kind of suspicious there might be something, say it aloud. I'm just going to clear my energy. I mean, no disrespect to anyone in this home. And then you can do it that way. But there's so many other ways to clear your energy, guys, without the smoke. Some people are very allergic to smoke. So that doesn't help either. So what I feel like what we should do is bring in that pyramid of protection. And we've shown that a few times for you. So we can put that post there. So that would definitely be a good way to get the keep your energy clear. And if you do that, you're fine. You don't need sage. You don't need anything else. You've activated that energy around you. Chandley, what should you use to cleanse your home if you're just trying to cleanse negative energy? And I just mentioned that. So bring it over you, the pyramid, but also bring it over the whole house. Bring it over your room, bring it over your bed, bring it over your whole house, and maybe even your yard. So you've got layers of pyramid of protection. And I know some people do cleanse with Florida water, Chandelier, and it works again. Those are in certain traditions, some of the shaman traditions, which the shamans, did you guys know this? Shamans learn their craft from the angels. I am a shamanic healer. I don't advertise it that way, just because I don't. I am a sacred pipe carrier, trained in many of the old ways, but all that built up to finally being at a place to understand that the angels encompassed all of that. Even down to the Native American, the Lakota, with white buffalo calf woman. If you don't know about her, find out about her. She's a goddess. She's an angelic being. Sitting Bull. Metatron, same thing. Sitting Bull was an embodiment of Metatron. There's so much that people don't really understand. Thank you. Natalia just posted the link for clearing your energy here. Now, I'm going to tell you something really cool and exciting. Look at angel911now.com, and maybe Natalia can stick that there. We have a new little course for you guys on clearing and protecting your energy. Oh, I really kind of said that wrong. On clearing your home and why not to use sage. So we go into more detail there. It's a little mini course, 9 modules. So get on there. It's $555 value for only $11. This is our way to give back to you guys. And so start making these steps. Start changing your life. Take control. Don't listen to the old ways of doing things. We're in a whole new energy. That's why even with crystals, okay, so let me show you a crystal that I know is pretty old. Look, he is a malachite, and he's from Africa. I don't know how old he was when my parents got him, but I know for a fact he's at least 50 years old, maybe older, in this carving form. Now, of course, the crystal itself is very much older. But malachite, oh dear, I was going to tell you about this, and then I lost, oh, new information. So the crystals, look them up, read about them, but also know that the angels are re-encoding the crystals with new information. That's why if you get on our crystal sale that's on Instagram on Friday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Instagram, Angels Oasis, you need to be there. Even if you don't buy crystals, watch, learn, listen. There is a lot of information. Dana or I'm there a little bit, but Dana is downloading new information from the angels about what these crystals have to offer now. So you could go look at it in a book and say, I don't see anything about that. Maybe Dana's wrong. Well, she's not. She's listening directly to the angels, and there's new information coming in. Because the angels are like, the humans are a mess right now. So we got to fix this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put new information in the crystals because they like those sparkly things. And these crystals are sentient beings, so they're like open to that. They're like, yeah, we're ready for a shift. And then they pick you. So you may be thinking you're picking a crystal, but the crystal's picking you. And crystals are a great way to keep your energy in your home clear as well. With selenite, with black tourmaline, there's a lot of other crystals that really help with that. So be on our crystal sale and learn more about that. And if you want a private consultation on what you need, how to grid your house up, how to work with that, that will be amazing. So go to our website. Are the Instagrams recorded by any chance? I believe they are, Sabrina. And Natalia has the information on it. So we will, and I'm not even sure how we share that or what we do with that. Natalia, she's our magic behind the scenes. The only reason we're getting some of our stuff done. So everybody pray for Natalia. She has to deal with Dana and I on a daily basis. She's not gone crazy yet. And we want to keep her forever. So love you all, and listen with your heart, listen with your soul about some of these new modalities. And don't take it personal if you hear something different than what you're doing, because the world changes, everything changes. That is one thing that we can be very confident about, is how things change, and it's different. So we can celebrate that and go with the flow. So sending you guys all lots of love, and looking forward to chatting with you all soon.